What's up, everyone? Today we're diving into a travel crisis that's quietly devastating parts of the US in 2025. Canadian tourists have vanished, leaving 6 states reeling from the loss. We'll show you the real impact: shuttered businesses, struggling towns, and lives upended. Why did Canadians stop coming? What does it mean for the future of American tourism? We've been on the ground, talking to locals and seeing the effects firsthand. Let's jump in and see how deep this crisis goes. First up, Florida, the classic winter escape for Canadians. For generations, the Sunshine State has been a beacon for those seeking to trade snow for sand, cold winds for warm breezes. Every winter, thousands of Canadians would make the annual pilgrimage south, filling the beaches, condos, and golf courses, and bringing a unique energy to Florida's coastal towns. For years, snowbirds filled beaches, rentals, and restaurants, pumping billions into the state. Their presence was more than just economic, it was cultural. Local businesses would eagerly await their arrival, and entire communities would come alive with the familiar accents and traditions of their northern guests. But this year, the crowds are gone. The result? A gaping hole in Florida's economy. The absence is felt everywhere, from the empty boardwalks to the silent beachfronts that once echoed with laughter and music. We walked through a town near Fort Lauderdale, once bustling, now eerily quiet. The transformation is striking. What used to be a vibrant hub of activity now feels like a ghost town, with only the sound of the wind and the distant crash of waves. Local businesses are in shock. Shop owners who once relied on a steady stream of winter customers now face empty stores and mounting bills. Many are struggling to keep their doors open, unsure of what the next month will bring. A jet ski rental owner told us 70% of his winter business was Canadian. Now, he's facing bankruptcy. He's not alone. Across the state, small business owners are watching their livelihoods slip away, with little hope for a quick recovery. Restaurants sit empty, car rentals are down, and entire condo complexes built for winter visitors are vacant. The ripple effect is massive. When one sector suffers, the pain spreads to others, from cleaning crews to maintenance workers and beyond. The loss isn't just numbers, it's people losing jobs, homes, and hope. Families are packing up and leaving, unable to make ends meet. The sense of community that once defined these towns is fading, replaced by uncertainty and anxiety. A vacation rental manager showed us her empty booking calendar. She's worried about losing her own home. With no guests, she's unable to pay her mortgage, and she's not alone. Many in the hospitality industry are facing the same grim reality. The state is scrambling to attract new tourists, but the Canadian market was unique. Long stays, deep community ties, and steady spending. Unlike short-term visitors, snowbirds became part of the fabric of local life, volunteering, supporting charities, and forming friendships that lasted for years. Replacing that is proving nearly impossible. No other group brings the same level of commitment or economic impact, and efforts to lure new visitors have so far fallen short. Even golf courses and local attractions are suffering. Memberships are down, staff are being cut, and the ripple effect is everywhere. Attractions that once thrived on group bookings and regular visitors are now struggling to stay afloat. The psychological toll is real. Locals feel betrayed and uncertain about the future. There's a sense of loss that goes beyond economics, as communities grapple with the disappearance of familiar faces and the traditions that brought them together. Smaller attractions like gator parks are desperate for visitors, offering discounts that barely make a dent. Many are operating at a loss, hoping that things will turn around before they're forced to close for good. RV parks are ghost towns, pickleball leagues have lost half their players, and the entire tourism infrastructure is at risk. The absence of snowbirds has exposed just how dependent Florida is on this seasonal migration. Florida's economy was built on the snowbird foundation, and now it's crumbling. The state faces tough questions about how to rebuild and diversify, and whether it can ever return to the glory days of winters past. The absence of Canadians is a slow-motion disaster, and there's no easy fix in sight. Each day that passes without their return deepens the crisis, leaving more businesses and families in jeopardy. The question on everyone's mind: will the good times ever return? Locals reminisce about busier, happier days, clinging to memories and hoping for a turnaround that seems further away with each passing season. For now, Florida is in a state of emergency, waiting for a lifeline. The future remains uncertain, but the resilience of its people will be tested as they search for new ways to survive and, hopefully, thrive once again. Next, Arizona, the western haven for Canadian snowbirds. For decades, this sun-soaked state has been a winter escape for thousands of Canadians who flock here to trade snow for sunshine. Their arrival each year was as predictable as the desert sunrise, bringing a burst of life to Arizona's cities and small towns alike. But now, resorts in Scottsdale, Phoenix, and Mesa are empty. Once bustling lobbies and pool decks are eerily quiet, with only the sound of the wind replacing the laughter and chatter of guests. Pools and tennis courts sit unused, their bright blue waters and green courts reflecting a season that never arrived. The absence is felt not just in the silence, but in the stillness that hangs over these once vibrant spaces. A hotel manager told us occupancy rates are at a 30-year low. Staff who once welcomed guests from across North America now spend their days waiting for the phone to ring, hoping for a reservation that rarely comes. Arizona's tourism board says Canadians once brought in over $1 billion a year. Their spending rippled through the economy, supporting not just hotels but restaurants, shops, and attractions across the state. That money supported everything from luxury resorts to family businesses. Local entrepreneurs, from souvenir shop owners to restaurant managers, depended on the steady stream of Canadian visitors to keep their doors open. Now jobs are vanishing and businesses are closing. The ripple effect is everywhere: empty storefronts, shuttered shops, and help-wanted signs that go unanswered. A hiking tour company near Camelback Mountain lost most of its bookings. Guides who once led groups up scenic trails now wait for clients who never arrive, their vans parked and idle. Canadians were their main customers, filling tours and sharing stories of home as they explored Arizona's rugged beauty. Their absence is more than a lost sale, it's a lost connection. They're trying to pivot, but nothing fills the gap. New marketing efforts and local discounts can't replace the steady, reliable business Canadians once brought. The real estate market is flooded with homes for sale as Canadians pull out, driving down property values and tax revenue. Neighborhoods that once buzzed with seasonal residents now feel empty, their homes waiting for buyers who may never come. Towns are cutting funding for parks, libraries, and emergency services. With less tax revenue, communities are forced to make tough choices, and the quality of life for everyone suffers. The loss isn't just economic, it's cultural. The absence of Canadian snowbirds means fewer community events, less support for local traditions, and a quieter, lonelier winter season. Canadians were part of the community, supporting arts, festivals, and local events. Their presence brought a unique energy, helping to bridge cultures and create lasting friendships. Spring training baseball facilities are missing the familiar Canadian accents. The stands, once filled with red and white jerseys and enthusiastic cheers, now echo with emptiness. Ticket sales and vendor income are down. Concession workers and local vendors who relied on the seasonal crowds now face shorter hours and uncertain futures. Art galleries, golf pros, and small businesses across Arizona are all feeling the pain. The loss of Canadian visitors is a blow that's hard to recover from, touching every corner of the state's economy and culture. The Arizona dream is fading, replaced by uncertainty and loss. For many, the hope is that one day, the snowbirds will return, and with them, the vibrant spirit that once defined Arizona's winter months. California's massive tourism industry isn't immune to the shifting tides of global travel. Once a magnet for millions, the state's iconic destinations are now facing a new reality, one marked by empty sidewalks, shuttered storefronts, and a sense of uncertainty that lingers in the air. In Anaheim, the heart of theme park magic, attendance is down sharply. Hotels that once bustled with families and friends are struggling to fill rooms, even with deep discounts and last-minute deals. The ripple effect is felt everywhere, from the front desk to the cleaning staff. Canadian families who used to stay for weeks at a time, booking multiple rooms and spending freely on everything from meals to souvenirs, have become a rare sight. Their absence is more than just a missing reservation, it's a missing lifeline for many businesses. Now, hotel owners are locked in a race to the bottom on prices, slashing rates in hopes of attracting any guests at all. Many worry how long they can keep their doors open. On the coast, Santa Monica's vibrant shops and souvenir stands report a dramatic drop in sales. Once busy boardwalks are eerily quiet, and shopkeepers are left wondering if the crowds will ever return. Canadians were reliable, generous customers, often returning year after year, forming friendships with local shopkeepers, and supporting small businesses with every purchase. Napa Valley wineries are missing their enthusiastic Canadian visitors, leading to fewer tastings, empty tables, and a sharp decline in wine shipments across the border. The region's world-famous hospitality feels incomplete without them. Rental car agencies near LAX have lots full of unused cars, slashing prices and cutting staff. The usual summer rush has been replaced by long stretches of quiet with employees waiting for customers who never arrive. Hollywood tour guides and entertainment venues are seeing half-empty buses and theaters. The energy that once defined these attractions has faded, replaced by uncertainty and concern for the future. Outlet malls near Palm Springs, once packed with Canadian shoppers hunting for deals, are now struggling to stay afloat. Storefronts sit vacant, and the buzz of commerce has all but disappeared. The loss is felt from surf instructors in San Diego, who wait for students that never show, to restaurant owners in San Francisco, who face empty tables night after night. California's economy is vast and resilient, but for many small business owners and workers, the absence of Canadian tourists is more than just a dip in revenue. It's a personal crisis that threatens their livelihoods and the spirit of the Golden State. Las Vegas, built on tourism, fueled by international visitors. Canadians were loyal patrons, filling casinos, shows and restaurants. Now the strip feels thinner and casino managers confirm Canadian bookings are way down. Gaming revenue is taking a direct hit. High rollers from Canada are gone and casino hosts are losing commissions. World-class shows are struggling to fill seats, offering deep discounts to locals. Restaurants and steakhouses report fewer reservations and smaller checks. Even the wedding industry is hurting. Canadian couples once flocked here for spontaneous ceremonies. Conventions and trade shows which relied on Canadian attendance are seeing lower numbers. Beyond Vegas, places like Reno and Lake Tahoe are also suffering. Nevada's economy is less diversified than other states, so when tourism drops, everyone feels it. Drivers, showgirls, bartenders, and more. The disappearance of Canadian tourists is a blow Nevada never saw coming. New York City, global magnet, but not immune. Canadians are the city's largest group of international visitors, coming for shopping, Broadway, and the city's energy. In Soho and on Fifth Avenue, store managers say Canadian shoppers were their best customers. Now, sales are down and targets are missed. Broadway theaters are seeing more empty seats, especially midweek, and relying on last-minute discounts. Hotels around Times Square, once packed with Canadian families, are struggling to fill rooms. The city's food scene is feeling the pinch, from hot dog vendors to upscale restaurants. Even the outer boroughs and shopping outlets north of the city are missing the free-spending Canadian crowd. New York is resilient, but the loss of its closest international visitors is a major blow. The Big Apple is feeling the blues in 2025. Texas, an unexpected hotspot for Canadian tourists, especially in the Rio Grande Valley. RV parks that once bustled with winter Texans are now ghost towns. Park managers report Canadian residents have dropped from 40% to less than 5%. Community centers are empty, and staff have been laid off. Austin's music scene and San Antonio's historic sites are missing their Canadian fans. Tour operators and riverboat guides say Canadians are now a rarity. Small towns in the valley, once dependent on Canadian snowbirds, are facing economic crisis. Houston and Galveston hotels report bookings from Canada have nearly vanished. Even Texas sports teams are missing the traveling Canadian fans. The loss is a stark reminder of how fragile and competitive tourism can be. 6 states, 6 stories of hardship, all tied to the silent disappearance of Canadian tourists. We've shown you empty hotels, quiet restaurants, and worried business owners. This isn't just a headline, it's a crisis affecting real lives. Why did this happen? That's a story for next time. If you want to see us dig deeper, subscribe and join us for the next investigation. Your support keeps these stories coming. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.